Hey guys, very good evening to all of you. Are you able to hear me? Okay. Is my desktop visible? Good evening, Utsava, Parvati. Good evening, Sairam. Am I audible? Are you able to hear me? Okay, great. Audible. Okay, cool. So Raghunath, Sachin, Nishu, Ramya, Muhammad, Anfal, Utsava, Prashant. Good evening to all of you. Hope you're all doing good. How's it going for you guys? Hope all well. Okay. So let us wait for a few minutes to others for join. It's 5:03 now. Maybe a couple of minutes we'll wait. As always, as a grace time, so that others can join. So Shubham is telling all is well, sir. So we will tell like Amir Khan, all is well, all is well. Okay, good to know that. Have that positive mindset always. Balaji is telling good evening Balaji. All is well, all is well. So today is a Friday, so weekend will start from tomorrow. So as I said yesterday itself, I thought I will be able to. Okay, Thursday. Sorry, yeah, tomorrow is Friday. So I thought I will be able to complete the interview pacing session yesterday itself. But I was quite surprised, when I kind of finished the resume prep and saw our question window. There are so many questions, I didn't expect, right? So, but definitely, we don't want to discourage you guys asking questions. But if you see yesterday's resume, whatever the questions are asked beyond after the resume preparation, gone beyond the resume preparation. There's a lot of questions again going back to type of companies, jobs, career, etc., etc. But it's fine. In fact, that's what I also encourage that all of you should ask as many questions as possible. I don't want anything troubling your head, especially जो परेशान वाला question है, anything that is troubling you, get out of your system, so that you go with a clearer mind, and with a clearer mind and focus, obviously results will come. Okay, and I tell in monthly meeting, even Disha also repeat that. Okay, Kumar is asking more questions. Okay, so this is a small thumb rule I have. Kumar has asked more questions, they will get placed faster. Okay, because next monthly meeting these guys won't be there. Kumar asks more questions because why? They would have got placed by then, right? So it's always getting placed. Sorry, asking more questions and getting placed has got a very tight correlation. So another that also means say if you want to get placed faster, ask more questions. Right? So questioning is always should be encouraged. Okay. All right. It's 5:05 now. Can we go ahead and kickstart today's session? Can I get some go ahead from all of you? I think numbers are less today. Anyways, people will join. Let's not bother about how many are there. More will come. All right, let us start. Okay. So very good evening to all of you. So welcome to the fourth day of our DISHA workshop. In the first 3 days, as we saw, our focus was more on the resume preparation, and we discussed about the importance of writing resume, why your resume is your brand, and why you call out your differentiators, etc. And we spent a lot of time in understanding what not to write in a resume, and then we moved on to what to write in a resume. We walked through the templates of Emergy, and then we explained about each and every section, what it means, and and how to fill each and every sections, and why and what are the tips and tricks for filling up each and every sections, etc. Right? So that's what we saw. And yesterday, if you see, we kind of took a deviation from that resume topic. We went into self analysis or self understanding. We took a test, the psychometric test, or a small test which will reveal whether you are a left brained or right inclined personality. And we discussed about the functionalities of the right brain and the left brain, and the way what makes you the way you are, right? And why your preferences are like that, why you find some of the subjects are easy and some of the subjects are hard, why some of them find programming very easy, whereas another person finding the, let us say, painting or sketching or talking with new people much easier, right? It's all because of the way you are created, right? And and don't take it personally, and then say multiple times, if I take a test, I want to increase my score, so can I take the test multiple times? That doesn't work like that. And even if you take the test multiple times, you may get a different scores. Don't bother much about it. But the overall idea to understand that what are your preferences are, and who you are, and why you are behaving the way you are, right? By understanding the left brain and right brain philosophy, right? So that's where we stopped yesterday. And I told you guys about one important homework yesterday. Go back and reflect, or sit for some time, and at least think about yourself, right? What are your strengths are, and why you are the way you are, right? And then relating to test, of course, right? Okay, did you do that homework? Did you spend the time for yourself, not for others, right? For yourself, thinking about your strength, are you left brain, right brain, and whatever we discussed yesterday? Can I get some responses? Mandeep is telling, yes, sir, I did that. Okay. So Shivalila is telling, so many loopholes inside me. Ayo, not to think about loopholes. But think about yourself, right? Ishan is telling, yes, sir. Did you all think at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Did you think about it? Vishnu is telling, yes, sir. Others, did you think about yourself? Prashant, right? And Ashutosh is telling, no, sir. Okay, Ashutosh, do it today. Raghunath, Utsava, Parvati is telling, no, sir, please do it today. Madhuri is telling, yes, sir, right? Because as I said, majority of the times we are worried about others, right? Anytime you thought about yourself, who I am, what are my strengths, what are my preferences, etc., etc. That was the exercise. Okay, very good. Whomever has done that, whomever not done that, please go ahead and do it. And I would suggest do it often, right? At least once in a month. Sit for some time, get into a quiet place, whether you're at home or you're in hostel, wherever you're staying, go to a quiet place where nobody's around you. Sit in a very comfortable place, nice sunlight coming in, a nice fan, nice airy, ventilated place. Take a notebook and paper and reflect on yourself. Right? That's a very powerful paradigm. All of you should be doing it as you move forward. Okay, so that's where we ended, and we need to pick it up from there. But before that, I start today's session. Can I? And always we ask this question, right? What did you learn from the previous session? What are your learnings from yesterday? Can I get your learnings? Some of you did your homework. That's good. Not done, please go ahead and do it whenever you get time. Today itself, I suggest you do that. But apart from that, all of you, what did you learn from yesterday's session? Please type in, and then we'll start today's one. Do's and don'ts in the resume, says Irshan. Very good. Try to work on our weaknesses, says Shivalila. Okay, that's another way to look into it. What else did you learn yesterday? Know who you are and proceed. Fantastic. Knowing ourselves, says Sandesh. Very nice. Mention only what you know, Madhu, right? In resume or later interview also the same thing. About brain and how it works, says Ramya, right? Because we understand everything, but we don't understand how the brain works, right? It's a very simple thing. Again, human brain is very complicated piece to understand, but this is a very simple way to understand. Okay. Update resume every time, says Raghunath. Very nice. Keep it as a running document. Any other learnings yesterday? Understand ourselves, says Utsava. Honesty, says Sandesh. Right? Very nice to see such answers. Whatever it is, even interview also will tell. Parvati is telling not to lie, always truth to yourself. In fact, today also we'll discuss, right? Truthfulness will continue in interview also. Get to know who you are, says Sahil. Know what you like to do. Keep on working yourself, right? That's correct. Discover your strength. Okay. And if you see, right, once you know who you are, right, and once you know where to work on, all the outside noise will come out. Will stop, right? You will stop seeing your friend, you'll start seeing your neighbor, you'll start seeing somebody else, you'll stop comparing yourself with anybody else. Only person whom you need to compare yourself is you, right? Last month to this month, am I better? right? Or I'm not doing well in something, where am I lacking? Work on it, work on it, work on it. That itself will give you a lot of self-satisfaction, lot of fulfilled life, lot of motivation also to work on, right? But you see so many permutation combination working on other things, right? Okay, you will only get disappointed, you will only get negative, and you will not take any steps also to move forward, right? And Sriram Tota is telling, I looked into resume, I was shocked while comparing to yesterday Disha's class. Yes, when you look into a resume, after going through, right, 80-90% of the information, you will find that it is not, useful to the recruiter. You will be laughing at yourselves. That, yaar, kya likha hua hai? What and all I written, right? It is not at all useful for the recruiter. Okay. Uh, Call out the real you hidden inside you. Says Sachin, very nice. Okay, self-discovery is the most powerful thing, right? Don't compare others, compare yourself now and before, says Manideep Dukhi. That's exactly what I'm telling to say. Okay? Don't compare with anybody, because everybody has got their own life. Okay, don't compare, and you can have some role models. Okay, oh, I want to become somebody like that. You can have some role model like you. For example, somebody can think, hey, I want to become like somebody. That can be anybody. Say, I want to become like, let us say, Elon Musk, right? Or I want to become like Ratan Tata, right? I want to become like some other, let us say, Sachin Bansal, Vinny Bansal, right? I want to become some politician also. You can have, right? No problem. You can have role models. You can see, right? You can derive inspiration from people like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. You can derive insights from many people, right? But that is different. But don't immediately compare yourself. Arey dekho uska ye hai, mere paas ye nahi hai. Is that year pass? Don't do that. That's like a small petty comparison, right? Focus on study, rather than doubting on placement or contract. Irshan, I'm very happy that this is coming up, right? Because you guys have got so much doubts about whether the placement will really work or not in emerging, and you guys ask me so many questions, right? And then I showed that diagram sometime back. Let me see whether I can see that. I think Rajinikanth, Rajinikanth Robo guns, right? There will be diagram will come. Let me see whether the diagram will come. Yeah. So this is what you guys were. You can see the picture in the screen. Okay. So you are all standing against me like this, right? Or like this. Okay. Taka, 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 right? You are all taking the gun and shooting with me with so many questions. Sir, ye hoga kya? Wo hoga kya? I am this, I am that. Will it work? Will it work? Right? You are all like this against me. Okay. Last 2 days or 3 days, right? Okay. You are all like this. All directions you are hitting. Not only two. It is not like this. It is like this, right? Everywhere like this, right? Okay. Okay. This is what you guys were sitting. I am 2018. Will it work? I'm 2017, will it work? I'm having a gap, will it work? Can you show me a proof that 2018 guys are working? Can you show me a proof that premium companies are doing that? Okay. so Tricloud Electrical is telling you are Rajinikanth. So no, I'm not Rajinikanth. Just that I know how to handle your bullets, right? Okay, says so you are like Rajinikanth says, right? I'm not Rajinikanth. So thanks for your compliment, right? Or if you see, this one, right? The recent example, if you want to give, there is this KGF. Doddamma, he will say, right? He will show that big gun, right? Where is that big gun? He will take them this one, right? He will take and fire everyone, right? Right? So that's what it is. So the point is, I'm very happy that you guys are getting this. I'm very happy this message coming from Irshan, that focus on study rather than doubting in placement or contract. This is that, right? Sir, Qualcomm is 10 lakh rupees. Is it permanent or contract? Why you put 10 lakhs in Qualcomm, but two students are getting 22 lakhs? Which one is truth? In NXP, you put in the application 6 lakhs, but students are getting 8 and 13 lakhs, right? Are Baba is getting more only, no? Be happy with it, right? He's not getting less. We are putting 6 lakhs and they're getting 4 lakhs, right? That's not happening, no? That's what I'm saying. I'm very happy that it is coming out. And for me also, it's quite normal, because, every Disha workshop I take, right? I want you to, pull out all the bullets against you, right? Push out all the bullets. Then what happens? Then I can send the real message, right? Okay, Shivalila is telling what a comparison, sir. It's true. You are Rajinikanth, says I'm not Rajinikanth. So now bullets in our guns are done, sir. So we can't shoot. Correct. That's what I'm doing. I'm emptying all your bullets. I said fire, right? Everything is emptied. Now that you are emptied, you are listening to me, right? Okay. Otherwise, what happens? Your mind is always like this, that, right? Now that all emptied up, we do that. And Vaibhav is telling, Vaibhav is telling, when we deserve it, we'll get it. Yes, Doddamma, Doddamma says Rami. Nice comparison. Salam Rakhi Bhai says, says Ayaz, the exam paper of life is different for all. Okay, so we are expecting the same result. Fantastic. I think Utsava is putting it like that way. Everybody is having a different question paper, and there is nothing called which is a good mark, which is a less mark, and which is a wrong mark, right? And you will never know. Just adding a couple of points to it, you know right, life is, you will never know what the surprise that life will throw at you. Okay, somebody has done, I know a lot of people who got fantastic academic records, but after some time they lose somebody in their family, right? Okay, suddenly they had somebody lost a father, let us say, for example, right? Or somebody is having a very good family life, suddenly they have a kid who is physically handicapped kid, right? Okay, life throws all those curveballs at us, that's fine, right? We never know. That way, as Utsav was telling, you never take one parameter and measure out, right? As I said, you are all beautiful the way you are, okay? And you define your own success story and follow that. Follow that path with all pride and confidence and energy. No need to feel negative. My only request all of you is that please take all the negativity from your mind. Okay. Yes, challenges will come. Okay, problems will come. Okay. And do you think you get a job and then after that problems will stop? No, problems will only increase. You ask me, right? I will tell you what and all problems are there, right? The big list. The list will only increase. But if you're not optimistic about your life, right, only you will get dejected, disappointed, right? You will not have energy to solve those challenges, right? And what always happens in life or career, right? You look back and then see how nice life was. In fact, many students used to come and tell me, after getting the job, right? You're all so desperate to get into job, right? After they get a job, they will come and tell me, sir, how nice immersive days were, sir. Careless and nice days. We were like so happy to come every day. Mentors, we used to learn new things. We had nice friends. In office, में वो सब नहीं होता, sir. Always deadline pressure, this, that. And I don't have good friends that I made in immersive, right? People tell that. And similarly, when you look back in your life, you'll say, wow, engineering days were so nice, right? And in your engineering days, when you were struggling, you will think that, wow, school days were so nice, right? We always look back and say it was nice, right? So as you move forward, the challenges are only going to increase. If you get a job, do you think your life will become easier? In some aspect, as you will start earning, your bank balance will look better. But that doesn't mean problems and challenges are going to stop. So all I want is be positive, right? Be optimistic, and you'll live with full energy and enthusiasm. Okay? For that, it starts with self-understanding. Okay, so that is, you can consider as a not, it's a DISHA workshop, or you can consider as Baba Jayakumar is giving you guys some gyan, because whenever I start discussing something like this, I don't know whether you guys know this. I told in the internship meeting, these days, the words like boomer is there. Do you understand what is boomer? Do you guys know what is boomer? Boomer uncle. Do you know what is boomer? Right? So whenever I start discussing in this side, right, my daughter, teenage daughter, calls me, "Hey, boomer uncle, stop!" Right? Okay, right? Okay. So boomer, if you don't know the meaning, just go and look in Google, right? Okay. So I don't want to sound like a boomer uncle to all of you. I just want to share some nuggets. Okay. All right. Let us get back to our business now, right? Now, why did I discuss about this? You are, understanding yourself and your strengths and other aspects, right? Okay, because it is related with your interview facing. Okay, this is where we left. Let me put it in a slideshow. So we reflected upon. I told you to do that. Basically, what are your strengths? What comes naturally to you? What are your interests? Right? Yesterday we discussed about this, right? Now, why am I talking about this in an interview preparation workshop or interview facing workshop? It is mainly because when you talk about interviews, right, it can be categorized into two: technical interview or interviews, HR interview or interviews, right? There are two buckets in which you can categorize. Again, HR interview, there may be multiple rounds. Again, technical interview, there may be multiple rounds. And HR also can be a management round and HR round where they're doing your personal interview and things like that, right? So important part to understand is whenever you are meeting somebody in the technical interview, okay, whenever you are meeting somebody in the technical interview, you are going to meet a person in the interview panel who is technically good, right? That's why they are in the interview panel. Do you agree with me? Somebody is technically good. That's why they are in the technical panel. Do you agree with me? Otherwise, the company will not send them as a panel. No. In fact, during my Huawei days, I used to take a training. of how to interview others, right? Okay, so they're technically good. If they're technically good, means they're what type of a brainy, left brainy or a left brain, right brainy, which brain is stronger for them? Left, right? Okay, you know that, right? Because right is about creative side, right? Because if you go back, right, they're like, analytical, right, problem solving, logic, right? So he's going to meet a person who is naturally good in the technical round. So this is where you are going to meet in the technical interview. Okay, most likely, because don't go and ask them, say, don't in DISHA workshop, Jayakumar sir told, can you take this test and prove me that your left brain is good, then only I'll give the interview, right? Don't do that. I'm just giving a pattern example. On the other hand, right, when you're meeting somebody in the HR round or even later in the management round, especially HR round, the HR is a person who is a people person. So that person will be typically a right brainy person, because that person is about emotions, feeling, people, relationship. That's why they are part of the HR, human resources, right? They're part of the team, right? So there are some characteristics of these left brainy people, and there are some characteristics of these right brainy people. So you need to answer accordingly. Okay, you need to answer accordingly. So let us understand that. Let me go further. So how it is related with interfacing? In technical interviews, you are most likely going to meet an individual who is having a left brain dominance. And what are their characteristics, right? Their preferences, right? They like precise answers. Technical people know, don't tell me story, worry, and all. If I ask a question, suppose they ask a question, very simple, right? What is a static variable in C? Right? They like precise answer. Static variables are the variables which are stored in data segment. They'll have the default value of 0. Static value can be categorized as static local and static global. Static local and static global. The static local variable will have the scope as the file. The static local variable will have the scope as block, and the static global variable will have the scope as the file. You see that in my explanation, it's very clear and very precise. No storytelling. Static variable is stored in RAM. Static variable, they don't like stories. Okay, they want precise answers. Even in fact, if you are left brainy, okay, when somebody is scored very high in the left brainy, you can think about yourself also. Whenever you are talking to the friends, right, you want them to tell precise answer. Otherwise, this left brain is get a bit irritated. They'll say, "Arey, bakwas band kar, tell me the answer," right? You might have observed somebody, or you yourself are like that. Okay, so they like precise answer. So is the technical people. Okay, and then what they like to see in you, that are you a problem solver? Okay, can you solve the problem? And they'll check for sound fundamentals, whether your fundamentals are good or not. Okay, and they are not generally emotional people, right? That's why their left side is strong, right? They're not emotional people. For example, don't go and tell them your personal side of the information in your technical interview, right? When they ask you, for example, they may ask you to introduce yourself, right? Just briefly introduce and keep it. Don't throw any personal tantrums to them. For example, long time back, I took a technical interview. One student used to come, one candidate came, and he started telling his personal stories and all. What, sir, my father has taken a loan, and then he's not able to repay the loan. Me getting that particular job is the only way. If you don't select me, they will basically, my father will not be able to repay, then the whole family need to commit a suicide, this, that, and all the things. And he started crying. You don't believe me. He was a guy and he started crying in the technical interview, right? So never show any emotions in any interview, especially in technical interview. No unnecessary emotions. I know you're all desperate to get a job, but don't tell all these unnecessary extra things, because technical people don't like emotional stuff in general. Okay, and they're not interested to know much about your personal side at all. Maybe they'll say, ask you to introduce yourself. You just tell one or two things, that's fine. Don't go and tell them, what, in my extracurricular activities, I participated in yoga, I won a certification, as I said, right? Hobbies, I'm an athlete, and then I won this particular certificate in a national level. They care least about it. They say, hey, can you tell me this answer or not? That's what they're bothered about, right? What they don't like, beating around the bush, right? Beating around the bush means what? Full kahani, round, 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 you are going, right? Okay. And then if you don't know the answer, if you avoid, generally what happens to our students, okay, there is a example we give, right? They ask an essay about a cow, or they say, but you studied a essay of tree, right? You write everything about the tree and finally say, I'm tying that particular cow to a tree, right? They don't like that. If you try to avoid, and he's asking one question, but you are telling, like, suppose you are telling something like that, as I said, what is a static variable? And you forgot, but you are telling what? Okay. So similar to static variable, there is something called as extern variable. Okay. I'll tell you about extern. Is that okay? If you ask them, they don't like it. Okay. And they with respect to confidence, anyways, I will talk about it multiple times, right? I told we'll discuss, especially during the interview preparation part, right? Because many people, I think in the initial part, they asked me about this communication skills. Sir, how do I talk in communication? I cannot, talk a great English or something like that, right? I told that in Emergy, communication is directly proportional to your confidence. And how you get confidence? You will get confidence only when you work on your assignments and projects. Okay. So, while during this particular communication, whenever you are explaining the technical interview, just explain them in a very simple manner. As I say, as you saw in the resume, right? We told, I asked you to remove all the stuff from your resume by now. You see, extracurricular activity nahi to nikal do. If you don't need to write any hi-fi English. Similarly, when you go for the technical interview, right? They want people to be confident and tell it in a very simple way. You don't need to do any hi-fi English in the any interview, even HR interview for that matter, right? Okay, and they don't want people, who are easily giving up. Okay, I'll talk about it something about short. Suppose they ask a question, but you don't know the answer, but you forgot the answer. Okay, what they want is, are you willing to try? Because when you work in a project, there is very highly likely that you may not have all the answers for the queries. For example, I worked in many projects where when you're starting, when the customer is giving you the requirement to implement, right, you'll hardly have 10% clarity. 90% you don't know, but still you need to start the project, right? So you need to figure it out as you are going, right? There will be issues will come, right? You need to figure it out, right? So they want people who are not willing to easily get, they're persistent. They continue to try. Okay, and they don't like any sort of unwanted conversations, especially technical people, I'm telling, right? Okay, I long time back one student came and told me, sir, you know what, sir? Okay, they actually in the technical interview end they say, right, do you have any questions the interviewer may ask, right? Whenever that questions are asked, right, I tell them, basically you ask very basic one or two questions, what technology you are working on, right? Okay, like what are the learnings I can get, keep it one or two questions, right? Long time back one student came and told me, sir, interviewer asked me 10 questions, I asked him reverse 12 questions, right? He asked me in the end, do you have any questions? मैं छोड़ा नहीं sir उसको, right? I asked 12 questions, right? They don't like that. Even though they will not show them in the face, they will not select you. The moment he said, I knew he will not get selected, right? So they don't like any sort of personal unwanted conversation, right? For example, in the towards the end, this is a classic dialogue. People who are attended will know, interview will know, right? Okay. Finally, they will say, "We'll get back to you," right? Okay. Don't ask the question. When will you get back to me? Right? Don't ask such questions. In fact, long time back, one student came and asked me this question. Okay, sir, when I attend DISHA workshop and I attend all my placement team, they tell you go and attend the interview on time. Okay, in fact, you should attend. I'll talk about it. 15 minutes before you need to be ready, right? You tell all these things. No, we are very perfect. We are attending on time. Then similarly, why can't they tell that okay, today is Thursday 5:30 p.m. I will declare your result tomorrow morning, right? Why can't they give it specific answers like that? If they expect a specific answer from us, right? Don't they need to show that they also should give a specific answers, right? Okay. So how many of them have this question, right? Or how many of them hate this word called "we will come back to you, we'll get back to you"? Similarly, already put in the window. Some of you might have attended the interviews, right? And even if you look at LinkedIn and all, it's become a joke saying that we'll get back to you, right? Okay, Harshita, Ramya, they're all getting irritated, you are angry and things like that, right? Okay. So let me tell you guys why you should not worry about that. When they say we'll get back to you, okay, then you say thank you. Okay. So what it means, so please note a few things when the interview. Suppose and as I said, right, I know the other side of story. I've taken so many interviews, and in Emergy also I continue to take the interview, right? When I'm meeting a candidate, right, and I'm having the resume in front of me and I'm asking a question, you are answering. right? Technical interview, right? By the end of interview, I do not know. As an interviewer, I'm telling you. Suppose I'm, consider I'm taking interview. I do not know whether I'm going to select you or not. Let me repeat. When you're taking a technical interview, by the end of the interview, I do not know whether I'm going to select you or not. Okay. You may be wondering how you do not know. Because please note, interview is always a relative activity. Suppose I'm meeting 10 people. Okay. I'm the one interviewer. There may be another interviewer. 5 people you are meeting me. 5 people you are meeting another technical person, right? So when they want to decide, they will not decide by the end of the technical interview. All the 10 interview they will do. And whether you know or whether you don't know, or I don't know whether some of you are observed, they'll be noting down something during the interview, or even if they don't note down, they'll have a separate sheet, right, where they fill it up. How well you've done, technical, communication, attitude. They'll have some parameters, and then they'll compare what the other panel member is telling, how are these people are telling. They'll compare, they'll discuss, and they'll say how many of them should go to HR round, right? 5 people, 4 people, then 4 people, then somebody will say he's 50-50, we'll take. So they do an analysis after they do the interview. So do not blame the candidate, do not blame the interviewer that why you are not telling my end of the interview, am I deciding or not, right? You cannot decide. I don't know. I'm telling you, I've taken so many interviews, right? They will not know. Okay, point number one. Point number two, anytime, and that's a question Ramya is telling, right? They will get back to you end of the day. In last week, still I did not get answer. If you do not hear from them, if they do not hear from them, assume that you are not selected. Most of the cases. In some cases, they may come back because the person may be traveling, etc. Right? If you're not getting the reply from them, move on. Right? If they don't, that means what? So many other companies are coming. Start applying for the next company. Do not feel dejected. Okay. So my request to all of you that don't get frustrated. Don't write memes, right? Don't go and put it in LinkedIn. Many people aim it out. Interviewer saying, get back to you. There are some jokes, right? Float in the LinkedIn saying that, the very fact that somebody is writing the joke knows that they don't know how in the back end it works. Okay. Hope you are getting right what happens after the interview, right? Okay. The back end you do not know. Are you getting an idea? Guys, can you get some responses? Tomorrow you will become an interviewer one day, I'm telling you. Okay. Then you will realize, then you will recollect what I'm talking about. You don't know. 10 people are attending. Who is good? You don't know. How can I say end of the day, you are selected, right? For you are desperate. Please note. Okay. All of you desperate. All of you want to know immediately. In fact, you may even say, okay, without interview also they are selecting, you are happy. But as an organization, they cannot do that. They need to compare. They need to analyze. They need to discuss. There are so many other things in the back end happens. There are many more things happen in the back end. I don't want to complicate with you guys, right? At least I want to keep it simple. Okay. So do not get frustrated. Do not get angry. Okay. Do not say why people say, why can't I tell if I'm not selected? Why can't they tell that they're not selected? Okay. Whenever they say you're selected, no, why can't you are rejected, boss? Why can't they tell, right? Okay. They generally don't do. Again, there's a reason behind it. You'll be surprised if I say this. Okay. Long time back, I had this question, like you guys, right? I was also young. I'm still young, by the way, at least at heart. So I go and ask some of my seniors, right? Why don't we send an email to all the candidates who were not selected, saying that the reason why you are not get selected? Okay. So one of my seniors gave me a very good answer. Okay. I want to share that answer with you. You know what they said? When I explain the answer to them that why you are not getting selected is a negative activity, if you see, right? When I communicate them why you are not getting selected, basically I'm sending a negative message to that particular candidate, right? Why should I send a negative message to any candidate, right? Today's interview, I'm not finding suitable, that's all, right? So I will rather keep quiet rather than going and telling me why you're anyway selected means they're communicating. If you're not communicating means naturally you are not selected, and they don't want to explain you the negative factor where you did not do well, right? And they don't have time also. And what they're telling is move on and apply for other opportunities, right? Okay. Are you getting an idea, guys? Ankush is telling, thank you for back-end information. Sahil is telling, very helpful, right? Shivalila is telling, yes, sir. Good. Okay. So don't feel dejected. Okay. A company mein nahi aaya update. That's okay. So many companies are coming. No. Keep applying, keep moving. Okay, okay, that's very important thing, right? This is about the characteristics of the technical interviews. Now, let us come back and discuss some more points. Okay, so similarly, how it is with respect to the HR person, right? It is entirely different because the HR personnel most likely will be an right brain person. He want to know about you. For example, right? He will ask a lot of personal aspect they want to know. Family, background, where you come from, right? They check for your positive body language, which I think, Kavya Street mentioned in our session in the monthly meeting, right? Positive attitude, any extracurricular activities, etc. Right? See, please note extracurricular activities, as I already told, it is not to decide select or reject it, but they want to know, they want to have a conversation with you. Can you talk? And what happens is, as a HR personnel, suppose you are good in, dancing, right? HR person always want to have a nice, happy workplace. Right? They'll say, oh, fine. Okay, this person can be a part of our cultural group. Companies also have cultural group. They also do a lot of dancing, a lot of events we do, right? They will just want that purpose. And they want to check whether you have some interest, whether you have certain energy towards extracurricular activities. Plus, please note that is not a deciding factor. We already discussed a number of time, right? Okay. What is that they don't like? They don't like people having a negative attitude. Okay, going and sitting and whining about ye theek nahi hai, wo theek nahi. They don't want, because they want a team member to be energetic. They want the team member to be positive. Okay, please note, we have been discussing about optimistic mindset. Right? It matters everywhere, and HR people will make it out like this within 2 seconds. The way how somebody is sitting, the way how somebody is dressed. In fact, in interview and all, I see people, they don't dress properly. We'll talk about it in our interview. Whenever you are doing an interview, right? They don't prepare, especially online interview. Okay, for example, now I am running this webinar. Today is, I think, the 6th day, right? I prepare. You will laugh at me. I've been doing DISHA for so many years, right? What do you mean by prepare? I tell my team members, right? Okay, except for that one Monday meeting where one very important meeting was happening, I need to immediately start. But I tell my team members that 5 o'clock is my webinar. 4:40, 45 is the maximum I can extend. After 4:45, I send them off, no matter how urgent it is, because I said I need the 15 minutes time. I need to set up my laptop properly, right? I need to use my phone. My internet connection is okay. I use a different internet connection on my laptop. I use a different internet connection for my phone, because whenever I am running webinar from my home, the power goes off. There's a backup, of course, but it takes some time to come up, right? At least during that time, I can do it via my audio. In my laptop, even though it's a good laptop, audio is not good. So I use my phone for my audio, right? Okay. And then whether I check whether my lighting looks okay or not. You don't believe if I say that I go wash my face before every interview so that I look fresh in front of you. I keep my charger here, an extra charging cable here in case my charger goes away, it gets filled up. I have my pen here, I have my notebook here. Whenever you guys are telling me some points, I'll note down. I have my water bottle here, you can make out, right? Why don't we prepare like that? And imagine me, if I say, you guys said 10-55 minutes, even if I say, I know, hey guys, I forgot the water bottle, I go and take. You guys are not going to cut my head off, right? I'll say, okay, sir, go and take, right? But still I'm prepared. Why? I want to have a focused session with you guys. And you need to attend an interview means you'll be 4 times more prepared than what I'm doing a webinar. No, I'm hearing people in the interview, they're not dressed properly, right? And then somebody is talking on behalf, the place is not well lit, right? And then guys are having dadi, right? Audio is not working. Suppose 5 o'clock is the webinar, okay? You log in at 5:1, 5:2, whereas the interviewer is waiting, right? I log in at 4:55, you see, right? I connect everything, keep it ready. And then, last minute, I connect my audio, right? All those things are very, very, very important because it tells a lot about you. Okay? Don't, 5 o'clock, 5:1, then Lokesh will be tensed. Did you log in? Did you log in? Did you log in? Right? Why is so much things need to be spoon fed? It is your job end of the day, right? So please ensure that you take care of the interview logistics. I'm telling a small example of how I prepare for your DISHA workshops. And if you're running external webinar, forget it. Half an hour, 45 minutes. I'll go and lock my door and I tell my home, no, no, no noise. Nobody's going to come in, right? Nobody's going to even knock the door. Then wife will be telling, I need to make chutney, sambar, mixie running noise. I tell, do it half an hour before. 5 o'clock is my webinar. 4:30, chup chop. Even nobody's going to enter. There's a restroom inside my bedroom. I said, no, you use other restroom. Nobody's going to walk around, nothing. So I check everything. 5 o'clock means dot 5 o'clock. We are live, right? I even check my webinar tool whether it is working okay or not. Every small detail you need to take care. Okay, believe me, when you do that, people are forming an impression about you, right? When you guys are attending, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, I can all say, right? Do you agree with me? You're all making an impression about me. Yes, no. Whether it's good or not, I hope all good impression. But I'm telling you, all of you are making impression about me, right? How I'm conducting this webinar today, is 6th day. How am I talking? What is my energy level, right? What type of a somebody told yesterday, sir, your blue shirt looks nice. You're noting everything, right? Imagine I should come in webinar like this, no energy to talk everything, right? So that's what I'm saying. So please ensure you take care of all these things. Your positive mindset reflects a lot in your interview, be it technical or in your HR. So that's what I mean, this particular, a negative attitude, right? Don't be over smart, right? And don't be too bully on the salary part. If they ask a question, what is the salary you are expected? You already know whatever the placement team has already told. That also you need to utter numbers, 4.6 lakhs, right? Don't tell that. I said my placement team is already notified. Whatever they told, I am fine with that, right? If they ask what is the number are you aware, then you tell the number. Don't utter the number. Because you utter the number, that means show that you are very particular about salary, right? No, I'm not telling you work for free, but don't show desperate that you are asking for that kind of a salary, right? And don't, um, unwanted conversations. I think some of you are telling, right? Ishan is telling, watching you to give positive vibes. Yes. And imagine if I have a negative attitude with me, how can I give positive attitude to you? Then I'll be doomsday only. Kya hai, kya embedded job milke kya hoga, right? I'll be talking negative terms only, right? So it's all what I'm telling, it's a mirror, right? It's all like we're all like a thing only, right? We are radiating energy. Whether you're radiating a positive energy, whether you are radiating a negative energy, it's up to you. But in the interview, when you're radiating negative energy or positive energy, the interviewer can easily make out. Because when you're radiating negative energy, your body language shows. Your eyeballs, right? Everything will shows, right? Vinay is telling it's all about thoughts make things. Absolutely. What goes in your head is what the reflection is all about, right? So please ensure that do that, and don't be too casual. Okay, as I said, no shabby clothes. Suppose you are wearing a shirt, ensure, no guys, it is ironed, shaven clean, right? Baal thoda अच्छे से बना लो, right? Okay, girls, if you are sitting, right, comb your hair properly, tie up properly, right? Wear a formal chudidar, put the dupatta is in place, wear watch, right? Your nails are cut properly if you're going for the actual interview, right? Everything is, and the shirt looks formal, right? Okay, blazer is not required, that much is required. You use a formal shirt, that is good enough, right? Okay, and don't put a crazy t-shirt with crazy, I am a don like that, don't wear a t-shirt like that, right? Wear a formal dress, right? Even in an online interview, I'm telling you, right? Very, very important. And I also tell people, before you do that, possible, do some breathing exercise. Go and do a YouTube and say, relaxing techniques or breathing exercise. A lot of videos are there. Okay. So, apna time aayega t-shirt. Shivalila is telling, right? Don't wear such things, right? Right. So just do relaxation techniques so that you are, from the time 5 p.m. means 5 p.m. on, right? You are completely engaged, you are completely positive and doing your best. That's what it's all about, right? So this is why we are, we discussed about the left brain, right brain. Because in technical interview, are going to meet a left brain guy. In the HR interview, are going to meet a right brain guy. They are commodities, right? So what is interviewing? So let us spend some time coming back and understand some more, passport habits. See, interview is a selection process in a short time interval to see, who is fit in a given set of sample. It's not interviewing is always done in groups, or interviews are always done in certain group of people. Let us say in emergency itself, there are 20 people apply, right? And then 20 people get, let us say 15 people get shortlisted. 7 people clear the written test, right? So what is the game of interviewing? Among the 7 people, who is the best? Who is number one? Who is number two, right? That is what is the, interviewing is all about. As I said, right, it's a relative activity. So it becomes on various factors. The companies need, how urgent the company needs the people, right? If they're desperate, right, they might make some compromise in hiring. On the other hand, some company, no, I will wait as long as I get the right guy. That way, basically it may act as a act against you. But believe me, with the experience what we have in placement team, all the companies want people urgently. That's why they're so desperate, right? Of course, the technical skill expectation, behavioral skill expectation, and very important, competition at the given time frame, right? Suppose there are 7 people in the interview, as I said, we'll get back to you that answer, right? By the end of the interview, you never know who is whom we are going to select, because another 3 guys are waiting, right? Another 4 guys or girls are waiting, right? So how you fare with respect to others matters a lot, right? Okay. Interview panel, sometimes that also depends, because even though the probability is very less, there is a chance that there are 2 panel members are there in the interview. One panel member is asking very tough questions, whereas the other panel member is asking little easier questions. That can happen. Okay. And very importantly, matching the right answers with the right questions, and having a very clear idea about how you're done. Because what happens, right? In fact, that's the reason why we are doing mock interviews, to give you a view. So because what happens, mock interview, we share feedback. We don't have any problem, right? Whatever it is that we share, right? But when it comes to your interview, what happens generally is that everybody thinks I have done well. पूछा बता दिया और क्या चाहिए, right? Okay, people who attended interview, can you just reply to my question? Whenever you attend interview, you feel that you've done well. Okay, I've done my interview well. Can I get some responses? Always, right? So okay, so people think that I've done all the time. You feel I always done very well. They will think, or they may extremely come on the other side. Ashwini is telling, right? Extremely positive, overconfident, or they'll have extremely negative confidence. Gaya, anyways, I'll be failing in the interview, right? You are only doing extremes. You really don't know, out of the 10 questions you answered, right? And you really don't know how well you answered. Okay, I think Nikhil is telling the one of the very nice voice and audio are not matching. Okay. I think there is a video issue here. Let me turn off my video. Is my audio looking better now, guys? Looks like some network issue here. All right, I turned off the video for some time. Let us see. Okay. So Nikhil is telling the right answer here, where he says, I just write down the question where you are not answered well. This is a very, very important practice that all of you should do whenever you attend an interview. As I said, do not get frustrated when the interviewer says, I will get back to you, right? And do not do too many, do not do self-analysis. What is that a simple tip for all of you? Please listen this carefully. Very simple tip for all of you. Whenever you attend any technical interview of any company, right? Come back once you have finished the interview, immediately take a sheet of paper, write down all the questions the interviewer has asked. Okay, because many times I see students, when they ask them what questions were asked in the interview, they are not able to tell, right? Okay, they don't remember what questions I asked. That itself is very bad, right? Okay, so whenever a technical interview is done, immediately write down the questions. Step number 1. Step number 2, call your friend. Whether you're an online student, offline student, doesn't matter. Call your friend. Show him or her this question. Hey, this is what the questions they have asked, right? And then you go through the answers that you are told. Hey, this is what the answers I told. Can you tell me whether it is correct or not? Okay. Assuming that your friend is the best well-wisher of you, he will only easily tell you whether the answer told by you is correctly or not. You answer him as if you are answering to the interviewer. Or rather, I would say what? You repeat the interview to your friend. That will give you the realistic standpoint, saying that how well you are done your interview. Otherwise, what happens many times, right? Most of the times, you think you are not done well, okay, but you are not selected. So you get demotivated, and further you go negative. Do you agree with me, guys? People, majority of them said, right, I've done well. Many of you think you've done well, right? But you're not selected. So you don't know why you're not got selected. So you get negative. You get demotivated. Then what happens? All sort of theories will flow in. Oh, you know what? They don't have a opening, only chumma they called. Okay, they did not select anyone. They did not have any opening. Or you will say, today luck was not in my favor. Okay, my family astrologer told now Shani Disha is going on. Okay, Shani Bhagavan's this thing is not good. So I need to wait for next 30 days so that Shani will become Shukran, and because of Shukran I get a good luck towards me. Or you think that, oh, my interview panel guy was a pathetic guy. Look at that, he got lucky. Today I know I am not lucky. Okay, do you all agree that go through these type of dialogues in your mind whenever you attend this interview? I'm not lucky. Ragu Ketu problem. Shani Bhagavan, Shukra Bhagavan problem. The interviewer is not good. The interviewer was a bad guy, etc., etc., etc. Right? My request to all of you is that none of this is a reason. You are not met the expectation of the interviewer. Go back and check why you are not met the expectation, rather than going and digging the unwanted areas. As I told you, simple tip: note down the question, call your friend, discuss with your friend. Okay, that's what it is, right? Can you take this tip? Can all of you implement in your next interview? Can you get some responses? Okay, note down the questions, call your friend and discuss. Tell your friend, hey, this is what the questions you asked. Can you be the interviewer? Okay, forget about your mentor's mock interview. Anyway, that is there, right? Please do that, right? That itself will give you a lot of idea, because your friend, assuming that he is in best interest of you, right? He will tell you where you are going wrong. That itself is an amazing exercise. It doesn't take much time. Do it in the same day. Don't wait, because you let things will be fresh in your mind, right? Okay, so this is very important. Otherwise what will happen is you really don't know where the problem is, and you are searching everywhere. That's when all these answers will come, right? Oh, the interviewer was a bad guy, this is what this guy, what is, this is what the problem, that was the problem, right? We never ever reflect upon how I've done my interview. Okay. Yes, this is a very nice tip, says Usharani. Okay, after interview some people forget which questions are because of panicking. Exactly what I'm saying. So that itself says what, Harshita. Okay, that itself says the problem is panicking. No, correct. What is a problem? Your problem is panicking. Work on it, right? Do a breathing exercise, do relaxation techniques before you go, because you panicking means definitely, definitely you are all going to fail, right? You need to be in a calm mindset when you are in the interview, right? uh, when a friend correct, you don't feel insulted. Very nice point, Irshan, right? And believe me, and tell your interviewer also, hey Baba, you be strict with me. Otherwise, those bolke, even if you tell 1 plus 1 equal to 7, you should not say, hey, very nice answer, right? Don't tell him that. And by the way, when you do it with your friends, it is helping your friend also, isn't it? Right? Okay, isn't it? When you're doing, when your friend is playing the role of the interviewer, he's also getting benefited. This is, they call this as, in HR terminology, they call this as a role play. Role play means what? You are doing the role of an interviewer, your friend is doing the role play of an interviewer, right? हम लोग करते थे ना बच्चे में, you are a police, I am a thief, right? Chore police we used to play, right? Or you will say, I am the patient, you are the doctor. We used to play the game in my childhood, right? Our childhood, right? Same thing. You play the role of a candidate, let your friend be the play the role of the doctor or a policeman, whatever you can think of, right? Interviewer in this case, right? Okay, so this is what is the idea, a small tip for all of you. Okay, let us move on. Our experience, right? Emergency, what is that we have seen over the years, right? Job opportunities are never an issue in emergency, but converting the job opportunity to the job offer is an issue, right? Even now also we all complain about, if you look at the monthly meeting, what is that, what is that we hear, right? Many students are not getting selected. That's why we are introducing all this, mock interview, etc., right? Yeah. Spending enough time on assignments, projects, following mentor instructions have got a direct reflections on interview results. Majority of the time, our internal assessment and interview results will match whatever the interview results are asking, right? That's what I mean by whatever. If you score well in a mock interview, naturally you'll score well in the interview. Okay, people who had average skill and better attitude succeed more than people who had otherwise, right? People who are attitude is the important thing, even for that matter, right? Going and taking help from your friend, rehearsing enough. It's all about your attitude. Okay, practice. There is nothing substitute than the practicing your interviews, right? You keep on practicing. Only practice makes the man or woman or a girl perfect. Okay? There's no end. Keep on practicing. Okay. I turned on the camera. Is it looking good? Camera, audio, video. I don't know whether it is in sync. I just turned on video because to be all right. Let us see. In case there is a lag, let me know. I'll again turn off that. Right. Aparna is asking a question, sir. Are there any techniques to increase the presence of mind in interview? Most of the times, it becomes blank. I understand, Aparna, what you're talking about, right? You need to be in present. You need to be at. It's like, for example, playing a cricket match. Again, I take a cricketing example, right? Whenever you are in the match, you need to be there. That particular ball, right? How he's playing, right? How I hit it for the six, right? Okay. So one of the rather I'd say two techniques I'll tell you, two tips I'll tell you guys to help you better here. Point number one, okay, you guys follow some or the other relaxation techniques. I just go and look for in YouTube, whether it's a breathing exercise are really good, single nostril breathing, or any type of if you're slightly advanced in this case, try to play some, meditation, etc. Just search for breathing, relaxing breathing techniques in YouTube. You'll find lots. Pick up anyone. Pick up not, I don't want to start with 45 minutes and all. Okay, some of them goes very long one, right? Okay, at least 10 minutes breathing relaxation technique will help you or not. Point number one. Second thing I always tell, okay, is about mental visualization technique. I think Kavyashi mentioned in one of our conversation, right? What is there running in your mind? If it runs in your mind that, I tell this Durandeshi example in my DISHA workshop. I don't know whether I told it or not. Let me tell a example. A long time back, I watched one TV comedy in my college days, right? I still apply many places, right? So I'll tell you, right? So there'll be a girl sitting in the park, right? And this guy is doing a jogging. Every day he sees that girl and he's attracted towards that girl. And he want to go and talk to that girl. Okay. So he will not talk. So what he will do, he will be thinking. He'll be thinking, I go and I give a smile to that girl. Day one, she will also smile back at me. Next day, I go and ask her time. She will give me time and tell me time, and then she will give me a smile again. Then third day, I'll go and give her a lal gulab. She will accept me and then say, then proposal accepted, right? Okay, then we both become, pair or lovers in the same park we are walking around, right? Okay, then both her brothers are villains. They take a gun and they kill me, right? This is what runs in his mind, right? So this all runs in his mind. And how it starts, it's all starts from asking time to that girl, right? He will think everything, then straight he walk to that girl and then say what, hey, what do you think? I will not ask you time and all, go. Karke he will go, right? You see the message what I'm telling, right? So majority of the times what runs in your mind is what happens. If the negative things are running in your mind, I will ask that particular girl, she will first say yes, right? Okay, again lag is happening. Let me turn off the camera. Okay, all right, no problem. So if I ask that girl, she will say no, etc., right? Rather than telling that, have a positive mental visualization. Okay, that will help you a lot. So in summary, breathing technique and positive mental visualization. Assuming like this, right? Rehearse yourself, saying that, hey, I'm going to go to interview today, right? You assume, you run through in your mind, saying that, the interview is going to ask me questions, and I'm able to answer all the questions. End of the day, he thanks me. I'm also thanking, right? And after some time, my placement team is going to tell you are selected. Think like that, right? These two should help you a lot. Okay. And there are a couple of questions here. Let me take them. Presence of mind. Aparna, hope this helps. Can I just reply? And Harshita is asking how to be confident. As I already told you, Harshita, okay, you do all the assignment and project, naturally you'll be confident and communication will flow naturally. Aparna, did this help you? Okay, she says yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. All right. There's a question from Sagar Khosamani. Sagar is asking, so what about notice period? If I suppose get selected for one company and the company doesn't want to wait until I serve my note in that placement company, let me just open this a little longer text. Give me a minute. Attend another companies to emergency placement. See, Sagar, I already answered these questions in the monthly meeting itself. Your notice period can be worked out. Okay, the companies will wait if they come to know that you are a working professional. I already answered in the monthly meeting. Okay, all you need to do is, as you're advancing in the process, you just let our placement team know that I'm a working professional. Okay, that itself is good enough. Okay? You don't need to wait another company and all. You can attend, as I said, no, you can keep attending, not a problem, right? But once you get an offer, notice period will not be a problem. We'll work it out for you. Okay. Gauss Muhammad is asking, sir, can you put module project in resume? Of course, you need to put. What else project we are telling, right? In every module, whatever you are doing, the project end of every module, you have to put in your resume. That's what we mean by 7 to 8 projects in our this thing, right? Okay. Sandesh is asking, sir, sir, beard is strictly not allowed in the interview? Not necessarily, Sandesh. It is not that beard is not allowed. Okay, if you are a person who is already having a beard, right? If you are already having a beard, no problem. Just ensure you are trimmed properly. Okay. Okay, it's not that you need to go clean shaven. Probably he's taken that message, right? It's okay. Okay, if you're already having a beard, don't remove the beard just for the interview sake. Ensure that it's trimmed properly. You should look neat. That's what I'm saying. Okay, your dadi wadi thoda bana ke jao. Make it good and then trim it and go. Okay. So Usharani is asking, how will improve communication skills? I think multiple times it has come, Usharani. Communication is proportional to confidence, and confidence will come if you do all the assignment and project. So if you do that, automatically communication skill will improve. Don't need to bother. Okay. And then take care of the other two things which I said, your breathing techniques and mental visualization. That is more than enough. Okay. Hope that's clear, Sharani. All right. And then before interview, I think some points we already discussed about this. Just run through these things, right? For example, at least have the resumes ready. These things I used to tell for physical interviews, but still majority of them are applying. You can ensure that always upload the latest resume. I think we discussed about dress professionally, look presentable. That's what I'm saying. In case if you are going for the physical interview, ensure that formally you are going, and then your shoe is polished properly, your head is combed properly. If you're if you're having a beard, it is trimmed properly, or if you're not having a beard, you can just look clean shaven. Very important, get enough sleep the before day. Okay. Often people prepare, I've seen cases where students prepare till 4 a.m. in the morning, and in the interview time he sleeps, right? Because he kept an alarm, the alarm did not go off, so he slept more, right? Don't do that. Mental visualization, I just mentioned few minutes back, breathing exercises, mental visualization, definitely it will help you, right? Keep all your certificates and documents ready, all of you, because I've seen some cases after they getting selected, people say, oh, you sir, that particular what do you call the provisional degree certificate I don't have, etc., etc., right? Have all your documents ready. And in case if you are going for a physical interview, take care of the transport logistics if you are going for the physical interview. And if you are attending an online interview, I already told you some of the tips, right? Tips and tricks. Ensure your audio, video, everything you take care, right? No problem. Reach the venue at least 15 minutes before the scheduled time. Okay, even online also, as I told my own example, whether it's a DISHA workshop or monthly webinar, right? 15 minutes before, you please lock your door in your home or in your hostel. If you're staying in a PG with two people or whatever, tell your other friend, hey, 15 minutes, right? Don't disturb, send him to the other room, close the room, right? Keep everything properly and be ready. Okay. Ramya is asking, sir, almost I have year gap of 7 years. Will that matter? I think this question also come multiple times, Ramya. It doesn't matter. Yeah, in fact, I have, I don't know whether I showed you. Since he's asking that, I have one success story of a student. Share this, right? These are all the. Anyways, more are there. Probably I'll try to show this in the next monthly meeting, right? This is little world. I think it was in March, April time frame, right? There are a lot of students you can see in the screen, right? Oops, sorry. You can see here, student from a 2-year gap, people like Ruchi, 1-year gap, people like Tapas Roy, 5 years gap, right? People like Sujit Kumar, 7 years. Here is your close friend Ramya. Okay, another girl called Sangeeta. You can see, right? She had 2 kids. She has to take a break, right? And then another friend of you, her name is Anjana. You can see here, right? 7 years of challenge, right? Another student, Jeb Jyoti, He was working in a totally not related to technical 6 years gap, right? A lot of the stories are there. Okay, in the next meeting, I'll try to show some more. Recently, also, and then some of them asking, sir, show me mechanical success stories, show me mechatronic success stories, etc. I'll bring more stories, right? Okay, hope it's clear from you. Okay. Is it good to put on earphone for audio connectivity during the online interview? Yes, better it is, Sachin. Okay, if you put on audio headphone, it will be better. Okay. Will there be any group discussion in online? I have not seen Irshan, right? I have not seen so far, but there may be. I don't know. It's about them, right? Okay. So far, I have not heard. Okay. For online interview, can I use headphone for better voice? Again, Sanjeev is asking similar question. Yes, you can. Okay. All right. This is about ear gap stories. So let us, talk to the technical interviews. Some of the do's and don'ts. As I already said, left brain people, they all very precisely they would expect you to answer. Okay, this is very important tip, please pay attention. It is not expected to answer 100% of the question, but answer them with 100% correctness. Okay, so let us say the interview is asking 10 questions. It is not necessary that you need to answer all the 10 questions correctly. Let us say even if you answer 6 questions, this you should answer pakka 100%, all the answer should be proper. Okay, so this is important. And what happens is often, let us say, for example, you need to manage your confidence also. For example, you start with question number 1, right? You are very confident to answer, so naturally your confidence will go up. Let us say question number 2, your confidence is good. Then question number 3 was even easy, your confidence is up. Question number 4, fantastic answer, 5, right? So what happens suddenly? Let us say question number 5 is very hard questions. So don't allow your confidence to drop here. Suppose one tough question comes, don't fall like this. Of course it will fall. Rather, I try to manage like this. Let it be like this. Don't allow it to be a steep fall. Okay. What you should do? Yes, fine. I am not able to answer the 5th question correctly, right? Who knows? The 6th question may be correct, easy, right? So because what happens when your confidence level drops so badly, right? Even the 6th question, let us say, for example, 6th question is a very easy question. If your confidence is low, you are already tense. Some of you are told, right? I become nervous, sir, etc., right? Suddenly, when they ask the 6th question is easier one, you will not be able to answer. If you ask what is 1 plus 1, you will say 111, right? Some of you might have already experienced this. When you are tensed, okay, don't immediately let your confidence do. Wait for the next ball. Let us say you are a cricket player, right? One bouncer has come. What do you need to do? Just dug, and then wait for the next ball. Maybe it's a full toss. You can hit it for a 6, right? So please ensure that it is. They don't expect you to answer all the 100% of the questions, 10 questions. Only they expect you to answer, let us say, 6 questions, 7 of them correctly. And you should know how to manage your confidence levels in an interview, right? Because what happens, 6th question may be very easy, your confidence can go up here, right? But if you are here, what will happen? You answer your 6th question also correctly, immediately lose the confidence. Then the interviewer will come and say, I will get back to you. Okay, are you getting this particular point, guys? Are you getting this point? How to handle difficult questions, how to basically, it is not necessary that you need to answer all the 10 properly. But if you answer 6 also, answer pakka. But don't allow it to steeply fall like this. Okay. I see more questions coming in. I'll answer. Give me some time. Let me run through this slide. All right. Let me move on. Yeah, I think this is the idea. So if you don't know answer immediately, don't say I don't know. There is a chance that the question, whatever you are getting, you will not know the answer. Immediately don't say I don't know, or jump on and start telling stories, as if you know the problem, right? What I'm telling, make a sincere attempt to solve the problem. Okay, that's what I think. There's a question here from Irshan. I hope this answers this, right? Okay, invite the interviewer into the zone where you already know the answer. The more it improves the probability of selection. You answer and use the keywords in such a way, as I said, right? Suppose asking for a static variable, right? And you say data segment, right? Then naturally, what are you doing? The next question he may ask, hey, can you tell me what are the other segments in the C program or memory, right? So that way, by answering one question correctly, by using the proper keyword, the next answer they will subsequently try to ask. Okay. When I'm explaining about the project, this is very important. Okay, suppose they ask about steganography, right? Or any other project that you do, right? Don't talk too much about the steganography. Rather, if you remember in the resume template, we talked about learnings and challenges. Do you remember, guys? In the resume template, we discussed about in project section, we talked about learnings and challenges, or that particular section. Do you remember, guys? Talk more about that. Don't talk about the project, right? Project, the person may not understand, may or may not understand. That you keep it brief. Rather, you tell, hey, this is where I face the memory leak issue, or this is where I face the core dump issue. This is where I face the file open issue, right? You can call that. Okay. Use pen and paper as much as possible, especially if you're going for the physical interview, or even if you're attending online interview. As I said, I showed you my own example of how I prepare for even every DISHA section, right? Keep pen and paper ready, right? If they ask a question, don't run around and say, where is the pen, where is the paper, right? Take care of your seating arrangements, right? Sit properly, okay? Have a chair, have a desk, right? Okay. Or even if you're staying in hostel, right? You arrange it accordingly, right? Yeah, I think this is already discussed. Handling lows and highs in an entry call, as I already told, right? Suppose you fall, don't fall steeply. There is always a next question which can come out easily for you, right? That's about do's. What are the don'ts? Keeping answers very generic or shallow. As I told, left brainy people don't like you to give a storyline. They want precise answers. So don't do that. Too much explanation about the project, don't do. Rather, as I already said, talk about your learnings and challenges. Don't argue with the interviewer. That's not at all recommended. Getting into personal discussion, right? Don't ask them. Suppose, like, you come to know that that person is from your native place, or the way how he speaks, right? Or by looking into his surname, right? You may get to know that he's from your same native. Okay. Don't talk to them in any local language, or means any non-English. And don't ask them, you know, unwanted question. How long you are in this company, right? Don't ask such questions. Trying to deviate, avoid answering, especially left brainies don't like this. Showing as if you know everything, overconfident is also not good. Okay. Quickly losing confidence. I think I already told you, don't fall, like how the fifth question, the graph I showed, don't immediately fall for it. Very important, listen to the interviewer completely. Don't jump into the answer before understanding the questions completely. Often what happens, half the question you listen and start answering. Allow the interviewer to complete the question. If you have a question, just ask him again, or tell that, this is what I understood, is that correct? Validate that before you get into the answer. Okay, so that's about the what do you call the technical interviews. Moving on, HR interviews, right? Before that, I would like to pause. Is it fine so far? Are you able to get yesterday? If you see, right, wherever we left, right, in form of left brain, right brain. From there, we moved on, and then we discussed and we completed about the technical interview facing. So that I can move on to the HR, right? Okay. Let me see some questions come here. Let me try to answer some questions before I move on. Let me. How many interviews may be there, sir? Says Ashutosh, right? Again, Ashutosh, this depends on the company. Okay. Sometimes, typically what I'm seeing is one technical interview and one HR interview. But I'm seeing that if you are in doubt, or for example, in one team the positions are closed, right? They wanted to refer to other department. There can be multiple technical round of interviews also. So be prepared. Okay. Similarly, there's a question about will there be written test or not? Okay. Most of the companies are having a written test, so be prepared. Okay. Panchavati is asking, sir, in 2001 passed out interview asked what you've been doing for the last 6 months. Which answer is suitable for interview? Because I'm searching off campus, did not get. That's what I'm telling you. What is that we have been discussing? Tell the truth. Do that. If 8 months you are searching job, tell that. Okay. Year gap impacts on package? No, Sachin, definitely doesn't impact. I think since we are talking about year gap, I don't know. Yesterday I told you guys about Collins Aerospace. Guys, did you see this application which is there in the screen yesterday? No, right? Somashekar Swami is telling no, right? Okay. If you see here, this application is exclusively for people with year gap. Please this. Okay. Students who have career gap can only apply. This company want to give people with career break, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, whatever the career break, they want to give opportunity only for the students, only for the people with career break. Okay. What more I can say? People are beating me around, right? Again, Doddama is coming, right? Okay, like Rajinikanth robot gun, right? Okay. All year gap people are shooting me, right? Okay. So all I can say is this is the answer I can tell you, right? Companies are preferring, they're telling only with year gap you can come. Please note, they will not tell this for a walk-in. They will not tell this for a open thing, right? Since they believe in our skill building, this is how they are coming. This is a one unique thing, and going forward it will happen more. Okay, people with year gap asked me so many bullets, Rajinikanth robot bullets like this. Can I get some responses from there? When it will be floated? Sandesh already floated, man. It's on yesterday's mail. If you see this, right? This was already floated. This was sent yesterday. Where is the date? It was on 3rd of yesterday. Where is the date? It was on 3rd. I'm seeing from the group, right? August 3rd. You can see, right? Already floated. Okay. Sir, when will we be added to this Google group? Ayo, Shubham, if you're not there, please get yourself added. Okay, please send a mail to our support team and get yourself added. They should have already added all the team, right? Okay, so please get yourself added. So I had already placed in a company, but I was willing to join because of bond. Can I say this in interview? Ayo, bond, Janaki Raman. This is a long discussion, man, about bond. Let me see. I have some time constraint whether I can answer about the bond. Give me some time. Let me finish the HR part, then we'll talk about the bond. Okay. I'm too not in the Google group. Janaki, hey, people who are not in the Google group, please get yourself added. Send them. They would already added you. Okay, I don't know why it is there. If there is a technical glitch, please talk to our student success manager. Send a mail to support@emergency. Get yourself added. Okay. That's it. Okay. All right. So can I move to the HR interview part? HR interview part. Can I move? Okay. All right. So let me. A lot of people are telling they are not in the group. Please get yourself added. Okay. So let me move on to the HR part. Okay. What is HR interview? Typically, people with senior HR interview will be meeting you. The main focus is the behavioral part, right? In the technical part, they evaluate your problem solving, your foundations, etc. Whereas in the HR interview, they are mainly focusing on your behavior, right? What do they expect? They expect a long-term commitment to the organization. If they hire you, will you be there for a longer term, right? Can you learn? If they're ready to teach you, they're ready to train you, are you willing to learn? Willing to work in different roles. Again, I've been asked this question, right? If they ask me a question, right? Will I work in a testing or development, right? Again, there's a lot of myth similar to the bond, right? The bond and the test as a development, I'll pause it for some time. I'll come back and explain. Okay, because many people have got a lot of, like yesterday we clarified about the contract position. Similarly, many of you have misunderstanding about testing, misunderstanding about bond. I'll come to that shortly. Let me finish the HR portion. Okay, in the last we'll take it up. Are you a team player or not? Okay, very important. I've been repeatedly telling, right? Are you a person who is bringing positive energy to the workplace, right? Then of course the communication skills. Okay? Whether you are culturally fit in the organization or not, right? What are the do's? Convey that you are looking for a career, not a job. Okay, so career is something which you do it on a long-term basis. Job is something which you do it for a survival sake. Tell them that you are looking for a long-term career in an organization. Okay. Storytelling, HR guys will love it. As I said, if you want to tell anything interesting about yourself, your hobbies, etc. As I told, that's not a deciding factor, but you have people who have interesting hobbies, etc. You can talk about this in the HR interview, right? And I'll come to that. Test development design. Sitting in an attentive posture, very important, right? So that you look confident and poised. Never talk in local language, right? Whether they ask any language, you answer in English. Don'ts, technical interview itself, I told not to get emotional. The same thing applies for the HR interview also. Don't show that you are desperate for a job. Okay. I know you guys are, all of you want to get placed a day before yesterday itself, but don't show that in the interview. Maintain yourself poised. If they're getting selected, anyway, they will let you know. Similarly, don't argue with the HR interview. Asking unwanted question, as I already clarified, when will you get back, right? Asking too many questions, that's also not okay. Talking in local language is also not okay. Okay. This is very important, right? Giving a feel as if you are already selected. For example, the interviewer may ask you questions like this, right? Suppose like you are selected, can you join immediately? Right? They may be asking some questions like that, right? That is just to check whether you can join or not, right? Okay. Don't celebrate. Hey, they asked me whether can I join. I am selected. No, don't get into that one, right? If you are selected, you will hear from our placement team. In fact, in the past, I know some of the students very unfortunate. They interpreted that as as if they are selected. They even distributed sweets to their friend. Then later they came to that they're not selected. Okay, don't do that until you get the letter in hand. Nothing is concrete. They may ask, right? Generally, they can ask, when can you join? Okay, where are you staying? Can you travel to the office comfortably? It's okay. That doesn't mean you are selected. Please be clear. Even the HR person, when they do the interview also, they don't know whether you are selected or not, right? Because there's a list of candidates. Then the HR, technical, everybody go back. They evaluate all the candidates. Finally, they select the candidates. I explained the back end, so please keep these things in your mind. Okay. Okay. This is one important thing. As I've been talking about, talk the truth, right? At the same time, don't be too blunt or too open about your future plans. If, for example, um, if they ask you what are your future plans, right? Oh, sir told tell the truth, right? Okay, don't tell, yes, I will work here for 2 years, then I'll jump to the other company, right? Don't take that particular statement to this thing, right? Give it in a give it in a, what do you call, in a sophisticated manner. Or don't tell 2 years I'll work here, then I'll go for my higher studies, right? I will work here for 3 years. I will I will go for a double the salary what your company is offering. So don't do that. Okay, just generally tell, I wanted to learn here, grow here, right? Just keep it at that level. Okay, finally, thank the interviewer, whether it's a technical person or the HR person, because he or she spent time with you. That itself is a great opportunity for you, and they're given the time and opportunity, right? Thank Is it better now, guys? Okay, I think video is the culprit here. I'll keep the video switched off. Okay, great. Video is the problem. Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, this is about the HR part of it, right? Now, there are some, questions and other part of it, right? Okay, wisdom, this is just a previous thing, right? Uh, so now, let me take some questions. Some questions are there. Let me try to answer. Mm, so I left my job after starting the course. Will this be a career gap? Okay, Shubham, don't bother much about it. Okay, whatever it is, tell. Don't interpret. Okay, whatever it is. As I said, it's not a problem. Okay. If I don't know any question in that case, what should be the reply? Say Sabah Karim. I think I already told you, Sabah Karim, you try to make a sincere attempt. Then you tell you don't know or you forgot, whatever could be the reason. Okay. Sachin is telling, so in general, what is the frequency of coming regular recruiters? How many months they come again? It's a very nice question, Sachin. I don't have an idea. Okay. Okay, because as I said, this is not a campus interview. If you look at go to campuses, typically the campuses will have a calendar, right? They will publish a calendar. Okay, day one, this company will come. Day two, this company will come, right? Day 30, they'll publish. If you go to a top-notch college and do a campus interview, they'll publish this calendar. No, we cannot do that because companies come to us on an on-demand basis. If you ask me, will any other premium company will come in August? I'll say yes. But if you ask me, will NXP will come this month also? I say I don't know, right? So what our goal is to ensure that always students are getting enough opportunities. That will be mixture of any other companies, right? We look into the overall number of companies coming, which the graph I show in every monthly meeting, and also to ensure the students are getting opportunities. That's all. So we'll not be able to, predict and say who will come when. Okay, hope that's clear, Sachin. Ashutosh is asking, is any company taking physical interview in emergency, sir? If yes, what is the ratio of online and offline? As I already told Ashutosh, every interview we keep telling, right? Okay, more than 95% of them are having online only. There are very less companies coming for physical that continue to be the same, even though we are pretty much past pandemic and it is under control. Okay, pretty much the drive is happening, online only. So if you're a online student or offline student, not a big deal. Okay, hope that's clear. Okay, Sriram Tota is asking, so if interviewer asked, do you have any questions or doubts? How should we tackle that in an effective way? As I already told, okay, ask very simple one or two questions. Okay, what technology you're working in, right? What are the learnings opportunities are there in the company, right? Keep one or two questions. That's it. If it is a HR interview, you can ask, right? Okay, what kind of a learning opportunity I can have? What kind of a career growth I can have? Right? Keep it one or two. Don't get into, will you give me 20% salary hike next year? Right? Don't get into that. Okay. Hope that's clear, Sriram. Keep it very simple, maximum one or two. Okay. The Colin Aerospace is in the group, but not in the email. That's why I'm confused. Oh, is it? Okay. Let me check that, Sandesh. Okay. I just showed it in the Google group. If it is not reached in the email, let me check why it is not there. Okay. It was floated yesterday itself. Okay. All right. Now, a couple of questions which we discussed. Let me clarify 2 points before we close for the day. Anyways, we have time, another 30 minutes time we have, right? So, the point number one, which I want to clarify, is about this particular. Okay, it is not in the Google group, sir. Says Ankush. All right, Ankush and Sandesh, I'll check. Okay, I will check with our placement team, right? Okay. So one is bond. Second thing is this between the development and test. Okay, development and test. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, how many of you think, okay, how many of you think bond is not a good thing? Bond is negative, or when you use the word bond, do you get a negative feeling or you get a positive feeling? Can you put it in the chat window? I want a honest answer. Some company says 2 years bond. Okay, what is there in your mind? Is it a positive feeling or negative feeling? Negative, negative, negative. Okay, negative. Only one thing is positive. Ramya is telling positive, right? Okay, negative, negative. Somebody is telling positive. I'm happy, right? Okay. So, what exactly you understand about bond? Can you just give me an answer? Suppose some company tells like this. Somebody selling 50-50, right? Some company is telling like this. 2 years bond. You see in the placement application, some statement is like this. 2 years bond. Okay. What do you understand by this? What is your understanding? You are permanent for 2 years, job is secured. Okay, they trained us. 2 year job assured, positive because 2 years it is safe. 2 years you need to work with us. Okay, says Nandan. Company has invested in you, so training they will make bond because we learn all the things with healthy experience. We have not to leave for 2 years, says Ramya. If I get any profit from the company, why they should invest in me? That's why bond mandatory. Bond is negative feeling for startups. Bond is positive feeling for an MNC. Ayo, house is selling our critical. They're ready to have us for 2 years. Need to complete 2 years with them. We get to know about the company. 2 years to prove yourself. Okay. All right. Okay. Fine. And suppose, okay, along with that, the company is also telling, okay, the company is also telling, let us say that company's salary, okay, so let me write it here. The company is telling a salary of 3.6 lakhs. As I said, you are already given me the answer, right? I'll come back and discuss this. But along with that, okay, the company is already writing something called salary is 3.6 lakhs. It's a starting salary. Okay. So when you read the 3.6 lakhs, okay, what is that? What is that it comes to your mind? Do you think the salary will remain same for 2 years of one period? I want an answer from all of you. Do you think the salary will remain same for 2 years, 3.6 lakhs? Yes or no? Some no's are coming, some yeses are coming. Majority of them are yes. Okay, it will hike. I think it's the same. Okay, after 6 months increment, same. Mhm. Okay, all right. So let me clarify. A few questions around bond. Okay, it's important that you guys understand. Why do companies ask for a bond? Let us try to interpret that better. Companies, I think some of you already told very nice answers. I'm happy about that. Some of you told when you join a company, if you remember, I showed some mathematics in one of the days, right, where I said, minimum when they say 6 months you become productive, they need to spend some lakhs of rupees. How many lakhs it worked out to be? Do you guys remember the lakhs? If you remember our mathematics, do you guys remember? I don't remember. That's why I'm asking. Even let us say 4.5 lakhs, 4.5 lakhs. I think you guys are smart. Yeah, great. So 4.5 lakhs is what a company spends on you to make you productive, right? Let us say that takes 6 months of time. And what we tell that by taking students from emergency, it will reduce it to half. That means 2.25 lakhs. ठीक है, आगे पीछे let us put some approximation algorithm. Can we assume, okay, I want all of you to respond to this. Can we assume that the company, any company for that matter, has to spend 3 months of time and 3 lakhs of rupees to make you as a productive employee so that you can start contributing to the project? Do you agree with me? 3 months and 3 lakhs. They need to spend time and money to make you productive. Can I get some responses? Okay, Mahesh, fantastic, great. Okay, going back to the same mathematics, whatever we showed, right? So what the company wants is, now that I spent 3 lakh rupees and 3 months on this particular employee, I want him to be with me for minimum 2 years. Okay, I want him to be with me for minimum 2 years, so that in the next 18 or 19 months that you are going to work with the company, you become a productive employee, you contribute, right? And then the company gets their return on investment on your contributions. That's what that 2 year bond means. So let me repeat, they want you to work for minimum 2 years. So here there are some questions may come. So what happens after 2 year bond? Nothing. Your job thing will continue. Please note, they want you to be with them for minimum 2 years. If you want to continue, they're more than happy. What they're telling is, see, Baba, I'm already spending 3 lakh rupees and 3 months with you. At least you be with me for next whatever 18, 19 months so that I get a good output from you. What if, let us say, they invested in you for 3 months, you work with them for next another 8 months, you gain 1 year experience and then you leave, right? Whatever the effort they put on you, it becomes waste, right? Again, they need to recruit the next student from emergency. This is point number one. This is the spirit the bond has been put in. Point number one. Second thing, let me clarify all of you. This bond, so second point is, okay, somebody is telling, sir, 2 year employment is guaranteed. Okay, that is also not correct. If they find you that you are not performing, anytime they can fire you. Please note that, right? Okay, before that, anytime they can fire you. If somebody, there's nothing called guarantee in this world. I already told you. Okay, having said that, my 2 year bond period is over, I'm contributing well, no problem, you can continue. Somebody will think that after 2 years they will fire me. 2 years they put a bond, after the second year, over, no bond over, no chalo niklo, right? Don't think like that. They want you to continue. They want you, at least they're telling minimum 2 years be with me. Okay, that's the first point. Second point, if you're not performing even before 2 years, they can fire you. Point number two. Point number three, assuming that you are performing, okay, your starting salary is 3.6 lakhs, your salary will get incremented even before 2 years. Typically, it happens 6 months or 1 year, depending on the company's salary revision cycle. Every company will have at least once in a year salary revision cycle. Let us say, for example, end of the first year, assuming that you are a top performer in your team, definitely this particular salary will get incremented. Please note, your performance and your bond is not related. They're not trying to exploit you. Please think, please understand this. They're not trying to exploit you. Anyways, 2 years you cannot go, right? Ha 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 ha, right? Imagine companies like a villain, because your perspective is company people are villain people, right? That's why they're putting a bond. 2 years, no. Anyways, you cannot leave. Okay. I will not pay 3.6. I will only pay to 3.6 lakhs for 2 years, right? Same salary I will pay. Okay. I will exploit maximum from you. And then after second year, 24th month, I'll say get lost. Okay. Please don't have this negative impression about company. Every company want a motivated set of employees, because it's not a manufacturing sector. It's not a physical job. This is all about mental, technical job, right? They all want you to do well. But what they want, Arey Baba, I'm investing so much, just be with me. And I tell as a fourth point to all the emerging students, in every DISHA workshop, I tell, when you go to any company, whether you join company A, company B, doesn't matter. Any company that you join, I tell them, in the first company, you work for minimum 3 years. Because when you go to a company, you take some time. You understand the company, you understand the corporate cycle, how the teams work. At least let us say you work on 2-3 projects, right? So I tell them, you work for minimum 3 years. Okay. So when you decide to work in a first company minimum for 3 years, how does it matter whether the company is putting a bond or not? In summary, I'm telling you, please do not see bond as a negative factor. Bond is put on the company side to ensure that you are there for the minimum duration. Bond has got nothing to do with your salary increment. If you are performing well, they will increase your salary during the bond period also. And if you're not performing well, whether the bond is there, bond is not there, doesn't matter. In next whatever time, they will remove you. Even you think the so-called permanent job, there is nothing permanent job. If you're not performing well in a project, they'll give you feedback. They'll give improvement plan. If you're not performing, any company, even somebody gets a offer letter, permanent offer letter. There's nothing like called permanent in this world. Please understand. We are all working in a private sector. Okay. Even yesterday, somebody mentioning about the government sector also said, right? Even government sector is not proper. Okay. Many of you would have heard about this scheme called voluntary retirement scheme. Did you hear that in government sectors? They're sending them, yes, right? Many of you telling that, right? Okay. Public sector is moving like this. Private sector, they're all driven by profits, right? There is nothing permanent here. Please note that. Okay. All right. So let me see some more questions. But before that, okay, are you getting an idea about bond now, guys and girls? Please don't see bond as a negative activity, and hope it has cleared all your negative connotation about bond. Can I get some responses, Ramya, Shivalila? I want more responses. Because bond means you guys think what? Okay, I take a what is this one? Okay, let me show another movie example. I don't know whether it will be there in Google. Let me search for you guys. Okay, let me see something closely I could collect, right? It's not a what do you call the neck cuff, neck lock or something, right? Somebody say the word bond, right? This is how it comes into picture. This is a picture they will put you, like a janjeer. The company will take and put me into this one, right? And I don't know how many of you seen this movie Vikram, right? In Kamal Hassan in that movie. Maybe I try to pull in that image, but it's not available in Google. Okay, so in that particular movie, Kamal Hassan puts put a lock in the neck. If you see all the villains when they drag him, they'll put a cuff around their neck, right? And then he drags them, right? If you remember all of them, right? So please don't think this is bond. People think whenever I use the word called bond, so this is how it is, sir. The company will take me and lock me for 2 years, sir, like that, So don't see, this is not bond. Please note, this is a if you're a prisoner, police will take you like this. right? Just to show you an example. So please come out of the negative connotation about bond. Okay, all of you. Okay. Then there are some questions asking. So many points cleared. Says Shweta. Bond is positive. Says Gauss Muhammad. That's very much right. Bond is very much positive, right? Okay. Rupesh is asking, so see, when we get a job from Emerging as a fresher, if you want to switch our job for higher package, should we okay, I think this is a repeat question. I will avoid that because we have a little bit of less time. Let me go back. Okay, we will think they're arresting us. That's what I'm saying, Sivalila. That's why I'm showing this picture. Whenever there is a bond, you guys think they're arresting you like this. So please come out of this thinking. Okay, don't worry about this. And as I already told you guys, right? Okay, definitely it is for your good thing only. Okay, and Mahesh is asking, sir, we are having hands-on training at Emergy. Will it still take employees to train for 3 months? Yes, it may take, because what we teach in our thing is a general embedded system. Okay, using pig board and other boards, right? But what I'm trying to say is, like, when you talk about company, they will give you a company specific board, company specific tools and techniques. 3 months, I'm telling maximum. Okay, some of the students will get productive in a matter of few weeks itself. Okay, I'm just telling 3 months as an example. Maximum 3 months. Okay. Hemant is asking, sir, in written test only programming skills if their aptitude. Again, Hemant, I clarified multiple times. Again, you are asking monthly meeting question, right? Okay. So is it clear about bond? Okay. This picture I'm showing. Don't let this picture, even though I'm showing, right, or let this picture come in your mind. So don't think this is bond. Bond is for positive only. Okay. Can I get some responses? It is clear about questions about bond. Okay. AK Singh is asking question. Sir, company asked for original doc for keeping employees to 2 years. Is it good to join that company? That's okay, AK Singh. Okay, they will. That is again they want it for an assurance purpose. And some company will put it as a financial bond. When you close the bond, you need to pay 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees a bond breakage amount. Okay, whether they take a original certificate, whether they ask for a financial bond, doesn't matter. Okay, anyways, with by taking your certificate, they're not going to construct Taj Mahal with that. Okay, they want to ensure that you are there for 2 years. For that assurance, they're asking for a certificate. Bond can be executed in many ways, but in any case, whether it's a financial bond, and some company will put a 2 year 2 lakh rupee for a bond breakage amount, some company will put 3 lakh rupees for a bond breakage amount, right? Don't see, oh, 3 lakh jada hai, 2 years. See, again, there are questions like, sir, but taking originals is illegal, sir. See, I don't want to get into that argument, Ekasing. Okay, so yesterday somebody told that bond itself is illegal. Okay, so let us not take a legal route. We are here to get a job. Okay, don't go too much into it. Okay, and whatever the points that I told, you keep it in mind. That should be the maximum. That should be the maximum answer. Okay, there's nothing beyond this. Okay, rather than focusing on all these things, please focus on the course and try to get it placed, right? And bond is not a positive. Bond is definitely a positive thing. Don't see it negatively. And let us not get into the legal aspect of it. Whether it's a, somebody yesterday said no, a bond itself is a what do you call, is a negative thing. Take a legal route. I immediately cut and they said don't think about it. Okay, let us not get into the topic. Okay, now let us come back and then talk about the second part which I was mentioning is something called as testing versus development. Okay, often many of you think, let me ask this question, whenever I say I'm doing a tester's job, test versus dev. Okay, let us say in our embedded systems also, good number of companies will take you and they will put you for a testing job. Okay, so when I use the word testing, okay, some of you, the word testing will not go well. Are testing hai kya? Okay, I want to do a development, right? I want to do coding. Or some of you will think day one, I want a manager to start writing, I want to write a code, right? So please note, this is not the good way of thinking. Okay, testing is also, and what happens, people think that this one, right, testing is, development means it is great, fantastic to work in a development. Testing means it is negative, right? So don't have this thought process. Okay, testing is very good. Validation, verification, testing, all same, Sandesh, right? That's a different way, whether it's a white box testing, black box testing, right? So don't think development is superior than testing. Testing also offers lot of opportunities for you to grow in the career. I know many people who grown very fast in their career became, test team lead, test architect, test manager, test director, vice president in test engineering, etc. Right? They've grown very well. Okay. So do not, you know, think that. In fact, it can happen in emergy also, right? In emergy also, they have seen a scenario where they select two students. One student will go for testing, another student will go for development, right? So don't have any type of a negative connotation about testing. Okay. Then again, there's a question from Madhu Mohan telling that, sir, assuming that I have hired for a testing job, okay, I'm going to join the company. Can I move from testing to development? The answer is yes, you can move. Okay. I myself is a example. I don't know whether you remember I told this. I started my career as a test engineer. I think I told in one of the sessions, no, guys, some of them, said yes, yes. Some of them, yeah, Ishan is telling, right? I started my career. My first job was a test engineer. Okay, I think you missed that question session. That's why you're asking this question. So do not have any connotation about testing. Okay. Okay. How difficult it is to switch a role? That's a different question, Sandesh, right? I will, what I'm saying is we'll discuss that how to switch. If at all you are looking for, I can share you tips and tricks later. But it is possible. Okay, it is definitely possible. Okay. Sir, testing has coding work. Yes, that's correct. Some of the testing has got coding work. Okay, testing also. That's why people write test automation these days. Some of the testers I know they write code in Python for test automation purpose, and some of the lower level firmware testing will require C programming also. Okay, so do not see testing as a negative connotation. And in the interview, if they ask a question, do you want to become a testing or developer, right? Don't tell a straightforward answer. Tell the word called I am flexible, right? Don't use it. Use this word called I am flexible. Whatever the role I am giving, I am fine. Because any role that you give, your initial when you're getting in the first job is to learn and grow. That's what it is. So do not see testing as a negative connotation and then get onto it too much. Don't have this opinion. Testing also offers a great set of opportunity for all of you to grow. Okay, this is about the bond and testing versus development. Did it give you an idea about testing versus development, guys? Can I get some responses? Can I get some responses? All right, yeah, great. Thank you, guys. All right, I think that's pretty much it. What we need to discuss today. Okay, and with that, we are also closing our workshop on interview facing, and also closing our DISHA workshops. Right, I think we had a pretty 4 long day of discussions. Right, we started with monthly meeting last Thursday and Friday. Don't worry about links, Manideep. I will bundle everything, PPT, this PPT, resume template, video, everything. We'll put it in LMS. Okay, everything will come to you. Gauss also, Muhammad also asking the same question. It is there in the portal. Anyways, I will bundle everything, give it to our team, and it will be made as a part of the LMS. Okay, so that's the thing, right? What I wanted to share. Let me see whether I can turn on the video. Hopefully it comes up, right? So in Emergy template, email ID and mobile number section is not there. Yes, Shivalila, we don't put it because our placement team is coordinating. Okay, so that's why we don't put the email ID and password there. But generally, you can add that. Not a problem. Okay, generally you can add the email ID and password into the particular this thing. Okay, so that's what it is. All right, so that's it, folks. So thank you very much for your valuable time. 4 days has been long. 4+2, in fact 6 days. We covered, I would say, a long set of topics. And I keep telling to people that the questions that you ask is what makes me interesting in these sessions, right? Otherwise, PPT remains the same for me, right? I'll get bored after some time. Okay. So thank you very much for all of you to join this DISHA session. Let us call it as a closure. And I will meet you guys in DISHA workshop in the next quarter. Monthly meeting, anyways, we'll do it towards the end of August. Okay. So can I get some quick feedback? Entire DISHA session, how did you find? Thank you so much, sir. So many doubts got cleared, says Panchavati. Very helpful. Thank you, sir, says Madhuri. Thank you for inspiring, sir, says Ankush. Okay. Good session, sir, says Dilip. Learned very effective session, learned a lot in the whole workshops. Whole session says Ayush. So great, sir, says Pradeep. Lot of messages. Thank you very much, sir. Very informative, says Mahesh. Lot of messages. I'm not able to read. Running very fast. Always your session brings confidence, says Parvati. Okay, very well. Thank you, sir. Before this, I have many questions shoot, but emerging now it's very clear. Great session as always, says Atish. Thanks a lot, says Parsarathi. Very helpful, says Sanjana. Very helpful, says Ashutosh. Very informative, says Banu Prashant. Okay, all right, guys. Can we do this every month? Arun, that becomes very exhaustive for me, right? Doing every month. That's why I keep it every quarter, because anybody joins at least after the third month they start applying, right? So that's why I want to align with the third month boundary. Monthly meetings, yes, we will do. Okay, so monthly meeting we'll do. This we'll do once in a quarter. Okay. Thank you, says Rahul Gautam. I cleared all my doubts, says Ramya. Great session and educating session, says Nishu. Thank you, sir, says Munjaji. Thank you for your time, says Banu Prashant. Thank you, says Om Shekhara. Okay, Sriram Tota. Again typing. Is there any difference between plus 2 plus 4 is of engineering diploma plus 3 is RAR? No, yeah, don't worry. Okay. If you're a diploma guy or lateral entry guy, all those things, I'm been beating from the same thing. Don't bother. Doesn't matter. Okay. Sandesh is telling thank you. Then Shweta is telling Disha has cleared our Disha and all negative thoughts. It was interesting because your explanation with positive example. Thanks a lot, sir, says Shweta. Great positive vibe, says Ishan, right? So my takeaway is always simple, right? I want to remove all your noodles from your head. Okay. So can I take an assurance that all your noodles are removed from your head? You are very clear now. Okay. I got a motivation, says Pradeep. Thank you for explaining everything, says Mayu, right? Because your head was noodles when you are sitting in the middle of the dish, right? Your head is like noodles, Maggie, right? Now it's all clear. Now it's all straight lines. Just that, go and follow your assignments. And I always tell people, right, just be like a horse, focused. Okay, 6 months time, work for it. So definitely you'll see the results. Noodles are become straight, says Utsava. Great. Okay. No more noodles. Now we have to learn things and assigns and learn things, assignment and projects. Fantastic. That should be the only focus. Be regular to the class, do all the assignments, do all the projects, write your resume well. That's it. Nothing else. Here gap, this gap, that have, everything right. Okay. So until we meet next time, please keep shooting the gun. I don't mind. Tomorrow you become two Rajinikanth and shoot me more guns. Okay, as I said, always your questions is what makes these interactions helpful. All the videos are recorded always. We'll do some minor edits. Give me some time. Today is Thursday. Early next week, everything will be up in the LMS, your video, PPT, resume template, everything. Okay. So see you next time in the August monthly meeting towards this month end. Okay. In the meantime, okay, take care. Wish you all the very best. Bye.